meeting of the Eastham Visitors Tourism and Promotion Services Board. It's a meeting on February 24th, 2025. It is 3:34 in the afternoon. This is a hybrid meeting offering in-person and remote participation. We are meeting at the small meeting room at the Eastham Town Hall. It's being recorded for future rebroadcast and posted to the on-demand on the town website, eastham-ma.gov. In attendance is Jim Russo, chair, and Faith Casarella, who will be our acting secretary. We also have Kate Paradise here, and Bonnie Nuendel and Kathy Bunnell are absent. So first, we're going to review the minutes from the previous meetings.
Faith, if you could hold the microphone in front of you, that's how the viewing gets recorded. I've been at home for.
Okay, so let me continue, please. So let's review the minutes from November 27th first.
I just have one comment about the November one, to take out the last line. Next meeting is December, unless you correct that.
I'm sorry.
It's, the very last thing, next meeting,
Yeah, next meeting, December 23rd. We just eliminate that.
We're,
Minutes of November 25th,
Oh,
last
yeah.
line. Just take it out.
That's what threw me.
Yeah.
COO.
Well,
So do we have a,
I move that we accept.
And I'll second that.
and all in favor, say aye. Aye. It's unanimous.
Yeah, I was just saying she needed the microphone in front of her because I've sat at home for finance.
Let's do the January 27th minutes.
I move that they be accepted as written.
I'll second that.
Great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sure. Moving on, summer concerts, we don't have Bonnie here. Does anybody have anything that would be pertinent at this point?
I just have a question.
To me, it's Bonnie.
I'm sorry.
To me, it's Bonnie.
For the group, if I know of a group that would want to come to Cape Cod and play, should they send their tape or their introduction to Bonnie directly or to you?
Oh, no, we can go directly to Bonnie. I mean, whenever I get it, I send it to Bonnie, but I usually share it with everybody.
Okay, all right.
Knowing that she's the one that looks them over, but everybody gets to see who it is so that they can chime in on, oh yeah, this looks good or not, or you think they're terrible, whatever.
Okay.
There's nothing more on the maps to discuss at this point. The budget, I haven't heard back on it, on anything. You'll see it's on the page 4 of your packet. What I presented to Jackie Beebe on January 21st, but and I put a message into her the other day. She was going to get back to me after I returned from vacation, but I haven't heard, so I gave her a call and I'm still waiting for an answer. A call last Friday. I don't know. And she also has the answer for me, well, hopefully, on what's happened with some of the money they've been, when I spoke to her and it was recorded in the minutes, I believe, that, the rec department might have room in their budget to pick up some of it, since it was, their event. So,
Joint.
joint event, yes. So I'm just, again, I'm waiting just to hear from Jack.
And, you know, if worse comes to worse, you can always go over to the library on Wednesday. Because she sits there and meets with people one-on-one, whoever's lined up.
She's doing that, it's not, I would have thought Paul Ag because it's.
No, it's
That's Jackie herself.
Jackie herself. In the first week, she had a lot of people. The second week, not as many. So
Wednesdays at 10:30
10 to
Something.
11:30,
or 10 to 11.
I think, something like that. Yeah.
Yes, I'll double check those dates because I think I put them in the newsletter, as a matter of fact, so.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get over there and. It's a good place, it's part of the budget and that's what she's there for.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Holiday plans, anything
I just,
kind of early, but.
holiday, no. Just go, the summer concerts, was that? Bonnie had sent out a note right before we all probably departed to come here about she
Oh,
was
porta
supposed to
potties.
porta potties. Was there anything on that or?
I never heard from Bonnie. I had said I would go with her, but she said.
She forgot. She said she forgot.
Oh, okay.
and
I
so-
didn't. believe it.
Yeah, okay.
Is there for tonight's select board
was-
meeting?
At some select board
I
meeting.
think she was gonna try today. She
Oh,
said,
she
she
mentioned
said
today.
she didn't have too much Novocaine in her health.
Wow. Yeah, so we still have time for that, to get a porta potty, you know, June. Right, June.
Mhm.
So good.
I think it's a great idea.
Oh, so
It's definitely.
it
good.
has to be
Yeah.
requested.
Bathrooms are good.
Okay, Jim.
And take it from somebody that can really pass one without.
Oh, I do have, I'm not sure, tell me, Jim, if this is related or not, holiday plans. Regarding the wraps that are still in our garage at home because they're basically still frozen and I can't roll them up to get them back in. But once I do get that done, which I think will be this week because it's warming up. Jake from the rec department offered to store them in the basement of the rec department.
Oh,
They have a storage area there, which.
I
Great.
didn't
was
know
not
that.
aware.
That's wonderful.
What a great thing.
And that way, everything will be together, you know, labeled.
Yeah,
and,
because
So
you know,
that's
as
acceptable.
you said, you know, we're partners on that, so this is.
What a
Yeah.
great thing.
So that's acceptable?
What a
Oh,
gift.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes, let's
Okay.
put it in the minutes.
Okay, so it was offered, I didn't accept
Yeah,
until I.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, no, I think that's wonderful.
That's great hospitality.
And
Yeah,
they'll be right on time.
they'll be in.
And they're super organized over there, so I think it's.
Well, they are, that's why I think that's, geez, I wish we had that type of situation with our banners.
Yeah, so enthusiastically, Jim, enthusiastically with all of our thanks.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody will know where they are next year, we're saying.
Right.
Yep.
Just saying, all agree, you don't need a vote.
Yeah. Decor and lighting. The only thing I'm gonna suggest there is that I think we should be looking at additional things that we can put on the green or around town. That we can find on Riley's and Holiday Decor. You know, the outside stuff that you see in town, downtowns, like the carols that have disappeared.
Yeah, let's find those.
But something on that, you know. I think we should start investing in more of that. You know, I think we did a lot with the Holiday Village, and it would be nice if we can get that so that it looks good each year.
But you're talking about holiday in particular, holiday decor.
Yeah. Well, that ended up as part of our holiday decor. And when Jake put all those lights up across, it really made the whole thing. It was really and so I'd like to see those lights. It would be nice if maybe he needs more lights or another way of doing it, and just if we keep them up there for a while. If, you know, it'd be good if they could put like airline cable that went from several posts so that he could attach it and not worry about them coming down and put his string lights.
Seems like we always have a storm right after these things where it blows everything to pieces.
Yeah, well, it's quite a distance, but I think with airline cable and putting it into, you know, some of the posts that the telephone poles.
Mhm.
How about, the Decor and Lighting at the information booth? Pat Albert, you know, one of the strands is out,
Oh, is it?
Is it out?
yeah, well, part of it, so I don't know how many strands are on there. Like coming by last night,
It's
there's
like
definitely,
sticks.
well, it's right in the middle.
So maybe it's part of I mean, I don't know, if it's in the middle or not, because it was continuous. I think I started at the top and just went around and around and around. So they're all, I don't think I've got two plugs. I think I've just got one.
So.
So it's a
maybe just
section of the
a
light.
section of
The light is
the
out.
strand itself. Are we
It
gonna
sure
keep
look
that color?
nice.
Oh,
Those are the multi, right?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should really be changed at this time, at this point to white, or I can turn them off at the time being.
Oh, they were so good.
They do look nice.
Really. And
It
the outline is
really
still on
is
the building
festive.
too. I mean, those lights are still on the building.
I could unplug that at least. Well, I was
It's
going
almost
crazy
March.
because I went by and there's no lights. I'm like, what happened? And so it was the breaker tripped again.
yeah, when I went up there to photograph it, I think I called you and I was sitting there waiting for the lights to come on and I'm going, it's getting dark and they're not coming on. And then I was getting ready to pull away. I said, I'm giving it 5 more minutes. Okay, I'll give it 2 more minutes. And then I just put the car into drive and I look at my rear view and the lights are on. So that's when
Yeah,
I
it was
photographed it.
Maybe 4:30 or so.
Oh, no, it was more like 4:50.
It was set for dusk. So, I mean,
Well, that buried, yeah.
but it's it's like under a tree. It's on the side of the building where the porta potties go, which is very dark over there anyway, and it's way down low.
It's just so pretty the way it sits with all the trees behind it. It looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere with these beautiful lights. It's just so pretty.
It is, when you approach it.
It's just gorgeous. I think what may have happened is with those high winds we had, there were some pretty interesting things that were happening all over Eastham.
Electricity is pretty simple, for the most part, that it should either go on or go off, and if it doesn't, then this.
Well, it looks to me like there's just a
It bothers
section.
me that we have a shot in the system again.
Yeah.
Well, I'm concerned about the building.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's that too. Where's the nearest hydrant?
damn close. They're only, wherever they are, they're only 500 feet away.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Well, that's good. I never knew what a Fat Albert was, and I found out.
Bad Albert's first, and I continue to refer to it as bad.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Just going back to the budget for one quick second, did we ever resolve Jenny Farr, or is that part of what? the
Did you read your
conversation-
minutes?
Well, yeah, but I mean, since then,
So in the minutes, it says that that Jackie thought that maybe there might be some funding available for the wraps for the rec department. And she said because it was, they were partners in it, so they might have some money. She was going to talk to Christine.
and,
okay, so
and Jim has to talk to Jackie to see.
Right.
what the
I
resolution
was under
is.
the impression that what you can do with bookkeeping is you just cut the check. And then you deal with the inside stuff and the general ledger codes later,
I
but
think
it sounds
that
like that did
works.
not happen, okay.
I'll offer a lot of suggestions.
I
and-
feel
and
bad for
I'll-
Jenny, that's why I'm,
Jenny's fine.
okay. We don't wanna lose Jenny as a partner.
And I don't think we will. I think that she understands what's happening. Because I tried to reach, she contacted me, I tried to reach her, I finally left a message. And she got back to me, I got your message, I'll see you tonight at such and such a meeting, and she got sick, she couldn't. So, but we played a little tag.
And of
until
course, she
something-
also was not paid in 2024. Now, she's been paid in 2025.
She had a bill in 2024.
The bill that Jenny sent to us was dated 2024. But
Oh,
since
right.
it has not been paid, I'm thinking about, the tax forms and all of that.
Oh, don't. Unless you have nothing better to do, to think about that, but it's certainly nothing that I'm going to.
I think
Well,
she's,
yeah,
under-
We're not gonna lose sleep.
and she
over it.
understands.
Yeah, of course she does.
She
She has a small
she-
business. She's fine.
She explained over and over, she knows that.
Okay, all
What to
right,
do.
all right.
Moving on. Banners. And there's no report here because we did all new banners, so.
So,
we're in good shape.
very
What,
well.
what we need to do is get back in front of the select board and say, what gives, we've tried to do this for at least 3 years. Trying to get additional, we bought all the hardware. So old, it probably lost it and it's probably rusted, even though it's meant for being outside, but then. What's his name, Sylvia. I approached him on it, that Jackie said that he has to, meet with the, talk to. Verizon, who's a polls loser. Then he left and Justin took over. And I've got messages to Justin. Oh, no, John Ruffin, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's just,
And get my J's mixed up. And so I have, as we've talked, I sent him several messages, never got anything back. But we have all of these banners and all of this hardware, if it's still over there. It's a shame that they're not being put up. And
so
meanwhile,
you would have to go before the select board?
well, I don't know how to get anybody's attention.
I think.
Because when I spoke to Jackie, I said, well, I tried to do, she said, oh, he's not a good communicator.
Right,
I'm
so,
like,
One of the
I don't know what to do.
One of the things that just happened is, I'm on another committee and we've been meeting with various committee on the finance committee. And so the DPW is finally fully staffed. They were not. People were, this is not an excuse, it's just the facts. Sarah Narachi, the administrator over there, is really, really responsive to me now. She really appreciates the work that this committee does. And on behalf of the town, they're really excited. They're fully staffed. Do you want me to take a crack at reaching out to Sarah, to reach out to John, to get in front of John so that we can get this stuff, because the spring is coming, so that we can get these up?
I think the first thing that would be good is if you can ask her to locate where all the hardware is. We got it when Maddie, was it Maddie? And the last name began with an S. I mean, I knew her. She was in the working for them. She worked for the town for years.
What's Sarah's last name?
Sarah Narachi, Narracci. She's the admin over there,
Yes,
and she works directly with John.
it's for DPW.
Right. Right, and
Well, I likes the fact that she was at least responsive. She went,
she returns phone calls like in a half an hour.
oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, if you can first see if the hardware is, that would be the first step before going to the select board.
Yeah,
No, I don't think we need to do this.
Well, if I can't get to John, I'm not going to. I have tried.
Okay,
I've tried 3 times. Now I look like a damn fool to go in front of him again, just to not have him answer me.
Yeah.
No, my day's done. Somebody else wants to pick it up, that's fine. But
so number one is where do they have the hardware?
You're looking for the hardware that is associated with the new banners, the new, where everything is gonna go. And we'll start the line in the sand, no pun intended, will be the spring.
on that list that you have.
I sent to them, many times.
No, there's a list of what poles needed to be moved or changed because a pole is falling over, but the new one's there, they don't take the old one out, but the banner's like mounted crooked, it looks crazy, it should be moved. But we identified other poles that we want to put them on.
And that was in that list, right?
Yes,
Yeah, and that we sent to them.
not the one with the, when to put stuff up,
No, I'm talking about the polls, just like 24 of them or something.
something like that.
Yeah. She has that list.
Okay,
I've sent it to her a couple of times.
so we bought all that hardware and they accepted it, we went over and we looked at it.
Yep.
So it was all there, but this goes back now.
Long time.
Yeah, so why don't I
think it's gonna be pre-COVID.
Oh, definitely.
I've got the ability now to, I should say this too loud because the universe will smack me. I have time to be able to do this.
Okay, that would be.
And if I can go over and even have a sit down with John and with Sarah, it just, we'll all get on the same page looking at each other.
So you're gonna follow.
Yeah, I'll follow through on it.
Sure.
They.
They don't want you.
Let's get them
Okay, so that's
started
under the-
getting this done for us.
For,
What, if we remember off the top of your head, Jim, and this may be a crazy question, what the date is that we're trying to get the springtime banners up?
I don't know. Okay.
I didn't bring everything today. I'm taking it.
She's taking notes. You can just sit and enjoy.
It is.
The next date of changeover for them. The banners, I think it's sometime in March.
Yeah, I didn't bring up that info.
I'm sure.
I mean, you don't have to go searching for it. What I want to do is have that, give them the ability to be able to say, okay, you need to get with whatever it is electrical. And let's just get this puppy done. We've been talking about it for a year and a half, 2 years.
Mhm.
I thought we did that. We did.
It's on.
It's on the olive.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
correct.
The new colors.
That in the notes, yeah.
Yeah, they have it. Public Works has it out. Kate's gonna follow.
Because the my investments are at DPW.
Good to have them.
Good to have.
I may be.
Don't worry about it. I have notes and, okay, I just,
I have it too.
I never
That's
thought-
very much.
I think it's sometime in March.
Otherwise.
I think it's by March 31st or something like that. Don't worry
It
about it.
doesn't matter.
Okay, you're right.
It doesn't matter.
It gives them.
I know what
It
he's doing.
gives them the month of March to be.
Find it, I know it's here, it's somewhere. 4 hours later.
It gives them the month of March to be able to get it all done.
If you can find it.
Well, no, okay, so I'm not worried about these are two different things.
I understand, but
Well,
one,
but let me finish what I'm saying.
okay,
The one thing has nothing to do with the other. By the time that whoever it is goes to the utility company that handles the poles and gets an agreement to change things, be allowed to change things and move it. It just needs to be approved so that it gets on their list. If it happened in March, could happen in March, or the new turnover, that's great, but that's not. My concern is the long term that we get the brackets where they belong.
I hear you.
That's.
Because once they're up,
Once they're up, then it's done. I mean, we've got a couple that need to be replaced.
and I would think that would be an ongoing thing anyway, with weather the way it is here and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, we just gotta find the hardware.
I was the one on the list.
It's, it may be in the same place where those banners.
So how are you doing? So,
No, he does a really good job with notificating, but I wanted to go talk to the select board and hope it wears off because I haven't been talking with.
I know that it always feels weird, but let's do it speaking from.
Okay, thank you. Well, she told me on the way out, half of my nose is numb too.
This side of your
Jim
face is
can finally punch you out on the side of your nose.
It's not nice. I never do
I know.
that. But do you go to Justin?
Yeah, oh, do you go there too?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I think it's
Just
great.
so you know, I asked him on the vacation week. But if he'd gone someplace with his kids, because he was out Friday and, his mother had a stroke in Delaware. She's not doing bad.
Certainly.
What
Hard
time
to
is
pass
this?
away. Roughly, out of Cape Town. They're wonderful. The water's wonderful.
Okay,
And now Kathy's gonna walk in. She flew in from New Zealand.
Lucky.
okay. Anything else?
Are you at the end?
Yeah,
Do you have anything?
I have a couple of things and I don't have the paperwork to
That's
tell you,
okay.
but I'm gonna run through what I remember. I am pursuing and have to fill out paperwork and get it back to them, getting the armed forces band for either the 30th
Great.
or the 6th. It sounds possible. Of July, or the 30th of
June.
June,
6th
6th of July, just around July. I have some new bands that have expressed interest in the past, and I finally got around to going into all our messages back and forth and contacting every single one of them. And I've had a lot of people wanting to be on, and I'm having to say, well, you gotta wait till another year, because I've got new people to work in. So it's going real well, and I could almost give you the list. But it would be, again,
Yeah,
there's a tentative, something like that.
Mhm.
Because I'm gonna just send it out to everybody. I mean, I've talked to Chandler, I've talked to Chris Blood, that's nailed down. I'm gonna send it out to people, and if they get back in touch and say I can't, then I've got work to do. But it'll be done before we're gone, and it doesn't have to be April 1st, right? So,
I can't remember,
Okay.
but yeah,
okay, it'll be done before we leave March 11th.
it's great.
So.
And you know that you're taking all of us with you. You're laughing. That was part of the
We
meeting.
only have a
voted on it.
four-person tent, I'm sorry.
We voted on it.
I'm sorry, listen, I
What did you
need
say?
this vacation.
Oh, you too.
Well, it's,
Can I come too?
I might
Does that
have.
mean you're going
you
alone?
just got back.
No, there's four or five couples of us all
Oh,
together.
really?
That we're gonna overlap at least a little bit with everybody's.
Oh,
They're a really fun bunch. They range from from 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, and 50s, and they're all wonderful people. So I can snorkel with,
You hanging out with all those old people.
because they out hike us. They have from the get-go.
Yeah,
It's been amazing.
getting back to, you say
Yes.
armed services,
The
What
one we
grades?
had 2
Armed
years ago,
forces, the armed forces.
Armed Forces.
This is the
Band
one
is
that
what, that's
we
what they
did
called
last year.
themselves.
Oh, it's the
No,
same
not
as
last year. That was the Navy band.
right?
Oh,
I'm almost positive, because the guy I contacted is the guy
That was
from 2
Dave.
years ago. And then last year we had the other branch, which I thought was the Navy.
so I can go back to.
You said at the last meeting that you were gonna stagger them, one then the other each year.
Yeah, I was gonna try to, so that's
That's
what I'm doing.
remember.
That's
what she's
what
doing.
I'm saying I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, the people that contacted you, there's one that won't do it all. And the drum queen's already contacted me, and I'm being as gentle as I can, but I really don't think of what an hour of drumming is worth.
I say it wasn't the right venue.
Yeah, I was gonna use that phrase, yeah, well, I've already said no, cause you did last year.
You will come to town meeting and we'll
That's right.
start fighting about the residential tax exemption.
Or you could.
Okay, why don't we,
But the other thing-
why don't we, do we
And
have
I
a
guess,
motion for adjournment?
well, before we do that, just a
business?
quick question for Bonnie, since she's here. My friend Lucy that I told you about,
Yes.
I have to get you her stuff, and so I guess not on this year's
No,
calendar.
but if you get me her stuff, and you can tell her next year, okay, and I don't start till February.
You can look into. You don't want.
Right,
to-
no, exactly, that's what I've been,
Another year older,
yeah, I know, somebody else.
no guarantees.
And they were fine with it, and I checked with Jason. Fuller. I don't know if you remember him, but they were outstanding, that group. His band broke up and he's hoping they're gonna get back together, but every year I contact him like first to see if they will. His mother is at the Elks.
I mean,
Oh,
I thought they were
he's from
great.
Vermont or something.
He's in Maine.
Or maybe, he was terrific.
Oh, here's a good question to ask you before we, because I don't know what your feelings were on this. Our son plays with the Renaissance fairs. He is gonna be at a Renaissance fair that's only 3 hours away. He has a 72-year-old Celtic harpist with his group. And another guy who plays, I think, guitar, and Thomas plays violin. I think they would have all their costumes and stuff on. I did tell him he was gonna be here, and I said, hey, you could play on the windmill green. And then with all these people flooding me with all this, I thought, I can't put him. But it would be a different kind of an act. It would be interesting and enjoyable.
You can't know that
Renaissance
he's your son.
No, I didn't have to introduce him, but,
Could you hook him up with like Chandler and?
I would love to hook him up with Chandler. I can see him playing with Chandler.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
that's a thought.
two,
For on the
it's 2
band.
hours.
Yeah,
For
Or
Chandler.
at the beach.
yeah. Well, I think he's mostly down the beachcomber.
Okay.
But he is doing something March first at the barn at Nickerson to raise funds for some really good cause. Can't remember what it is right now, but we're gonna get tickets. It starts in the afternoon. It's a Saturday, March first. Anybody want, it says Saturday. I think
I'm
it's
not putting
toward-
it.
Huh? The barn in Nickerson, when you first go into the park, off to the right.
I was thinking of the pizza part when she said.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's this coming Saturday, and I think his group starts at 2, but you can find it, that was on Facebook. That he's doing it.
On base page.
I mean, it's early enough and it's local enough and they're crazy enough. Okay, I'm sorry, I held that up, but I was just thinking, okay, so I was right to say, I said to him after he had checked with Martha, the harpist. I've had second thoughts since I started getting all these local bands that would like to play. And he said, yeah, it kind of stunk of nepotism too.
I was gonna say.
So he was understanding, yeah. He and Martha are gonna come out. I might
A little
be getting to
bit.
play at church on a Sunday or something for.
They can come over and play at the Church of the Holy Spirit.
There you go.
We'll fill the parish
He's
hall.
poor. He's looking for people to pay money, but he might get something to, Tom, Beatles, no, not Beatles, Tom. Never mind, the other Tom. That plays accordion. You may have heard him.
Oh, I thought you were thinking of Tom and Yaz, because they put on.
Tom and Yaz?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a- I
Yasmin,
should be.
no, Tom and Yasmin, I can't remember the last name.
Have you gone
Make-
by
make
Pat
notes.
Albert recently?
Yes, yeah.
Just today, actually.
I just,
Why is he, something wrong?
part of the lights are out, and I just want.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no,
go
because
over
the
and
lights
check.
weren't, even. Okay, sorry I walked in late and disrupted things.
That's okay. Do you
We're
like
the great
a
disruptor.
motion for adjournment? I'm
So
sorry.
moved. Kate moved, we vote, motion
Do
to
we have a
adjourn
second?
at 4:06.
Let me finish, please. Can I have a second?
Second.
Oh, I thought, can I have a second?
All in favor?
Yes,
Yes.